Hello again, everyone. Edwin Leonard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about Chiron, Sextile, or Trine, the Black Moon Lilith in a natal chart. Now, one way this may manifest is that helping and healing others, which is Chiron, may be something you have a passion and desire for, which is the Black Moon Lilith, without being overly obsessed and fixated with. You may be passionate about helping and healing others, but not to the point where it just becomes all, consuming and all encompassing or what have you. So if Chiron is in Aquarius, as an example, you may help and heal others. It could be through, humanitarian, altruistic, type of endeavors and actions, but it could be helping others, integrate more with society and maybe tap into their, ingenuity or their unique side, being able to help these people in matters, with friendships, groups, clubs, and organizations as some examples. Now, also, too, people that play a provocative role in your life, which is the Black Moon Lilith, may be beneficial in matters that are connected with depleted self-esteem, which is Chiron. Now, if you have Chiron in Taurus, as an example, depleted self-esteem may be tied in with monetary matters or possessions or resources. They may be associated with issues with persistence, patience, perseverance, stick-to-itiveness in matters. And another thing, too, is that if you have Chiron sextile or trine the Black Moon Lilith in a natal chart, it can be positive in terms of easily balancing activities with helping and healing others, which is Chiron, and the things you are passionate about, which is the Black Moon Lilith. So there can be a good balance with these activities. If you have the Black Moon Lilith in Leo, as an example, those things you are passionate about could be creative endeavors or doing something with movie production or something with entertainment, acting, just extroversion in general. It may be doing something associated with the military or sports or attention-seeking ventures in general. And also the same may apply for matters that are connected with helpers and healers, and which is Chiron, and those that figure prominently in your life, which is the Black Moon Lilith. So it can be where you're able to easily, balance those activities and find equilibrium in those matters with those people. Now, if Chiron, say is in Capricorn, as an example, helpers and healers may be tied in, with people that may benefit you through career-related endeavors, or maybe through gaining greater social stature in life. It could be, doing things, associated, with maybe even something Capricorn-related, whether it's government or, politics. Keep in mind that Chiron is also teachers and mentors as well. So it could be even those, teachers and mentors that are connected with, like, say, construction or architecture or information technology, dentistry, and accounting as some examples. And also, too, helpers and healers, which is Chiron, may be advantageous in terms of you dealing with the dark side of the Black Moon Lilith placement. So if you have the Black Moon Lilith in Virgo, as an example, that dark side may be connected with a rather, judgmental, critical, cynical, or negative nature. There may be very strong germophobic or hypochondriac tendencies. I don't know if those words still apply, but you understand what I'm saying. There may be some, obsession, like with germs and, matters with cleanliness. There can also, another way that these aspects may manifest in the natal chart is that teachers, mentors, spiritual people, and astrologers, which is Chiron, may be auspicious in terms of you embracing the higher level of the Black Moon Lilith placement. So let's say the black moon Lilith is in Aries as an example, that higher level of the placement may be tied in with simply, being able to lead and inspire others, attaining some, position in which you express leadership prowess and ability, even if it's not an actual job position. It could just be about, expressing enterprise and initiative, or, just leading by example, doing something that's pioneering, innovative. It could be some, gaining some position, in welding or arson investigation, or being able to tap into the courage, of Aries, as some examples. And also, too, those that play a provocative role in your life, which is the black moon Lilith, may be propitious in you dealing with the deepest wound, which is Chiron. Now, if Chiron is in Aries, as an example, that deepest wound may be tied in. It could be matters connected with, aggression or lack of it. I have Chiron in Aries in the 12th house in my natal chart. I think a lot of that for me manifests in, it could be issues, even just about being, speaking out, confronting people that were, hidden, that were hidden adversaries, people that were, maybe posing as friends, but really were secretly, working against me, or just taking action and being aggressive in matters, connected, with limitations and restrictions, as another example. Now, also, too, the expression of compassion, sympathy, and empathy, which is Chiron, may be favorable in dealing with the void in one's life, which is the black moon Lilith. Now, let's say, if the black moon Lilith, say, is an Aquarius as an example, that void in one's life can be tied in, with friends and, interacting with society, groups, clubs, organizations, objectives, one's future. And, in this example, if the expression of compassion and empathy, maybe this could lead, to having more interaction, with others, people saying, okay, this person is expressing this compassion and empathy. We're going to, integrate more into his or her life as an example. And where even maybe somehow it leads to the right person, helping that person in question deal with one's future and their goals and objectives, so forth and so on. Now, also, two formidable adversaries, which is the black moon Lilith, would be less likely, I would say, to exacerbate matters that are associated with one's emotional and physical related wounds, which is Chiron. Now, let's say, if Chiron is in Scorpio, as an example, emotional, physical related wounds may be tied in. Maybe there were issues with transformation or matters pertaining to support, whether it would be emotional, monetary, or, moral support, issues connected of a sexual nature in some cases. It could be, also our physical related wounds of Chiron is in Scorpio may be tied in with the colon, the prostate, the bladder, or the, urinary tract or reproductive system. And keep in mind, if Chiron is retrograde, there may be more of an emphasis, say, on the self-healing and suffering, and the suffering may be more internalized in contrast to Chiron being direct. So if Chiron is in Sagittarius, as an example, there may be, physical related issues, suffering connected with the liver or the sciatic nerve or thighs that may be, more internalized, and there may be more, the person may try to self-heal or self-medicate in those matters. And, emotional suffering may be tied in with issues connected with, publishing or advertising. It could be somebody maybe advertising your business, so to speak, unnecessarily, or, something that was published, say, that may have been, slanderous, as an example. Anyway, people, that'll, conclude this YouTube astrological segment. And until next time, stay well.